This is the first year that I have put together my own lesson plans for the month of December. I'm going to be sharing them with you guys for free today. So we're going to talk about those lesson plans, take a look at how they're laid out, and I'm also just going to talk about how we continue to do school throughout the month of December in our homeschool. If you're new here, my name is Haley. I am a mom to 3 boys. The oldest 2 are homeschool age, 4th grade and 2nd grade, and we are in our 4th year of homeschooling. On this channel, I share homemaking and homeschooling related content. So if any of that interests you, I would love to have you subscribe. But for now, let's jump into our plans for the month of December. So in the past years, I've done December and Christmas schooling a couple of different ways. So we've had a year that I purchased a full-blown Christmas themed curriculum that we only use like 25% of it, and then we've had years where we just tried to take the month of December off. I thought it would be good to just have a big long break like that all throughout the holidays and not do our schoolwork at all. And what I've realized is that I want to meet somewhere in the middle. So I want a plan, but I don't want it to be so intricate and over the top that we don't actually stick to it. I also want to do some of our regular lessons throughout the month of December, maybe not in the same style, you'll see that in just a minute, but I want to have some type of structure and plan for the month of December. So I went ahead and I planned out 4 weeks of lesson plans that are at a level of involvement that I know I can stick to. So that's what I'm going to share with you guys in this video. I'm going to put a link to the document down in the description so that you can download it as well if you want to and see if you think that it's something that will work for your family. But before we look at those lesson plans, I am going to talk about what we're going to be doing with our regular lessons throughout December. So trying to find a way to balance our regular school lessons with all of the Christmas plans can be kind of tricky. But what I've decided on is that we're going to set aside most of our formal lessons for the month of December. Really what we're going to do is for the first 2 weeks of the month, we're going to just continue to do some reading practice because my 2nd grader is still learning to read and I want him to continue on with his reading practice. I don't want to take a full-blown month off away from that. And my oldest son is going to continue reading from his literature picks, and he loves to read, so I'm sure he'll be doing some other things as well. And that's really all we're going to do as far as language arts type things go, just because I want my 2nd grader to continue that reading practice and not go a full month without doing some phonics practice and exercising those skills. And then for math, we're just going to do some fact review. So addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then my oldest son will also have some division facts in there. And we're just going to review those either orally or we have an app on our iPad that's nothing but facts on there. I can put in how many problems I want them to solve and put a timer on it. Or I may just print out some fact sheets and they can just review their facts once a day. It'll take all of 5 minutes for them to do, and that's it. That's all I'm planning to do for the first couple of weeks in December. We're not going to be continuing on with our formal history or science or anything like that. We're just going to be practicing our facts because those also need to stay fresh in their little minds, and then doing reading practice, and then our Christmas plans, which I'm going to share with you in just a moment. And then after those first couple of weeks where they are doing their fact practice and reading practice, we'll probably just go ahead about mid-December and stop doing that as well, and we'll just stick to our Christmas plans until after the new year, which is when we'll pick back up with our full-blown formal lessons. So that allows the kids to have an actual break from the same old lessons that they're used to doing. So they'll have kind of a light and load for half of December, and then the second half of December will be even lighter with us just doing the Christmas activities. Okay, we're gonna talk about the Christmas plans that I put together now. So I set this up as sort of a morning time layout, but what it is 4 weeks of plans, and there's not daily assignments. It's just listed out as week 1, 2, 3, and 4. And within each week, I have listed out activities or plans for certain categories. I'm going to look at my laptop where I have the actual plans at so I can reference it. So I knew that I wanted to have a Bible reading plan in there. I wanted to listen to some hymns with my kids. I still wanted to read some poems and look at some artwork with them. I also knew that I wanted to do some cooking with them, so just trying out some new recipes and enjoying some cozy treats together. I want to do a couple of handicrafts. We love to read picture books, and we also love to do read-alouds. So those are some of the things that I have listed out under the weekly plans. So how I plan to use this is for the Bible reading plan, there's actually 5 readings assigned for each week. So that allows you to do 1 reading each day of the week for the Bible reading. Some of the readings are very short, so they won't take very long at all, but it's just an opportunity to kind of read through the Christmas story and some of the Old Testament prophecies. It gives you a chance to pray with your kids and to just, stay focused on that part of Christmas. From there, I plan to choose a couple of the other things to do each day. So one day we may listen to the hymn for that week, and then we may make the recipe. The next day we may look at the piece of art, and we may read a picture book, and just combine the different categories from the lesson plans, however fits best for that day. So that keeps it very short, very manageable, and still very intentional in covering all the different subjects that I want to. Now, the things that will take a little longer than one day to do are going to be the handicraft activities and the family read-alouds. So instead of scheduling out a specific handicraft or a read-aloud on the plans, since I'm going to be sharing them with you guys, I just listed out some different suggestions for those things so that you can choose what you want to do with your kids. Some of the handicrafts out there, you may have already made them and don't want to do them again, or some of the read-alouds. So I thought I would pick the ones for my children, and then I would just put a list of some of the other things that you could choose from to pick one for your family. So for my boys, I know we are going to be doing we want to make some garlands for our Christmas tree using the dried oranges. I want to continue on with our Christmas cross stitch ornaments. So last year we bought some cross stitch patterns off of Amazon, and they started on them, but they didn't end up finishing them since it was their first time doing it, and I didn't have it worked into a lesson plan. It kind of got just pushed to the side, and we didn't finish it by Christmas, but I kept them. We're going to finish them up this year, and then I'm sure I'll pick 1 or 2 other things for us to work on. I'm not sure what they'll be yet, but I made a long list of different suggestions that we can choose from. I have tried in the past to use different lesson plans where you have like a craft or activity every day, and that's too much. That is not me. I'm like a once a week activity. Now, if it's the same thing and you're just working on it little bits at a time, that's one thing, but having to get out totally different supplies multiple days of the week, I'm probably just not going to stick to it because we have too many other things going on. So this is a way for us to still do some of those fun things without it feeling overwhelming. I kind of treated the picture books and the family read-alouds the same way. So I just listed out a whole bunch of different picture books that my family has loved and that you may want to choose from. And then I also put some in the read-aloud suggestions that we want to get to. So you can really just see what your library has, what you already have, and choose from those books and pick a picture book a week to read to your kids. Or maybe every other day you want to read a picture book. If it's not very long, you can choose how many to fit into your weekly plans. And then for the family read aloud, we are going to be reading Miracles on Maple Hill over the Christmas break. But that's a book that we've had on our bookshelf for a little while that I've been wanting to get to, and it seems like it has some good Christmas time themes in there. We'll probably just do a chapter a day. If we make it all the way through that book, I'll pick another read aloud. So that's it. That's our plans for the month of December. If you want to get the Christmas Advent style plans, I'm going to link it below down in the description box. It will have the weekly grid with the different book suggestions, hymns. I have the artwork prints in there, as well as the poems and the scripture memory verse. It's completely free for you to use this year. So I hope that it's a good fit for your family and that it allows you to work in some of those fun Christmas activities that you want to get to without it feeling overwhelming. Let me know down in the comments if you have any special Christmas book read alouds or like picture book suggestions, handicraft suggestions. I want to hear them. So leave them down in the comments, and thank you guys for watching.